I'm Dara O Briain and welcome to the School of Hard Sums. This show is a classic battle of brain versus brawn, where I luckily get to play the role of brains, attempting to kick the butts of two brawny comedians by giving them a maths class they won't forget. We'll be approaching 3 practical problems set by Oxford professor Marcus S03E04. There's also a bunch of maths students present to keep everyone on task. Plus, we'll be tackling questions posed by School of Hard Sums fans. So let's meet my foes in the mathematical arena this time. It's Marcus Brigstocke and Mark Watson. Gentlemen, both graduates of the school from previous series. You've both done your time here.
Alumni, we're alumni, yeah. And you're right, we're brawny as all hell.
Bro, yeah, you are. You are very much the poster boy for brawn.
It's the most physically robust team you'll come up against.
Yeah, it is. I have no clue what you've had to do, but I mean, were you expected to be fit and strong? Was there heavy lifting involved?
Not a great deal, but during the filming, I was not in the best physical state. I think that will be evidenced on the film. I had a ruptured Achilles tendon, which had put my back out.
Were you sliding down a mountain when you injured yourself?
No, more embarrassingly than that, I was dancing my second show at the Edinburgh Festival and ruptured my Achilles tendon.
Yes.
But the worry with this injury is that snowboarding season is fast approaching.
You live for that, don't you?
I really do. Like, as soon as the Edinburgh Festival finishes, that's kind of all I can think about is sliding.
And you even said
Oh, my gosh, look, there you are.
Oh, what a pretty picture we found there.
Yeah. There's an interesting question, actually. Do you go faster if you're heavier?
Well, objects fall at the same rate.
So you'd think that it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But the air resistance could be a factor. I mean, if you're really enormous...
It is, actually, yeah. Mathematically, that's the thing, that if you increase your weight, actually, it does make you go faster, and it's because of the air resistance.
You push through the air resistance quicker.
So the more I eat now...
The more you eat, if you can get back up to that bulky picture
problem at all.
Mark, you're not a slider or...
Well, the thing is, I don't really like... I'm not one of these sort of adrenaline junkie. I'm more of a safety junkie, if anything. I'm really fond of being in these people are like, oh, I'd love to be out of my comfort zone. I like to be firmly in it.
There's a reason it's called a comfort zone.
Yeah, because it's comfortable. But make me slide down a mountain, I think I'd be in difficulties, yeah. Is it actually dangerous, or does it...
Yes.
OK, yeah.
There we go. You're but more of a valleys man than a mountains man.
My mum is Welsh, yeah. I've spent a fair bit of time in valleys.
Some great bits of maths, actually, that come from Wales.
Yes, pi, I think, was...
Yes, that's
pi
right,
Welsh...
Pi was the symbol for pi. The Greek symbol pi was started by a Welsh guy. He thought, well, let's have a fancy Greek letter for it. So he actually coined...
He just made it up?
Yeah, and it stuck.
Yeah, but let's clarify this. He made up the symbol for it. He didn't
make up...
The Welsh didn't invent the circle.
As far as we know.
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There's another symbol that people use all the time in maths, which hails from Wales as well.
Is it the plus? Did we come up with that?
Close. No, you didn't come up with plus.
That's a classic.
That's a classic.
Until
Is
they
it
had that,
equals?
maths was really hard.
Equals.
Is it equals?
Lovely sign, equals.
Yeah, the equals symbol is actually created by a Welshman. We didn't have that until the 16th century.
It's inspired by the railway line that runs through Aberystwyth.
All right. Do we have a particular theme to this?
Yeah, called Downton Abacus.
There's lots of kind of questions about money.
I cannot shake him out of the puns.
Yeah, sorry. We're 3 comedians. I'm really trying hard.
No, that's good.
Downton Abacus, is it counting? Is it...
Yeah, actually, the first question is all about poachers. So you're playing 3 poachers, and we're going to be sharing the things that you caught during the night between you and doing a little puzzle. So let's see what you caught.
Right.
Great, so here are your poaching jackets. After a night poaching, your eyes are still acclimatising to the lights. Put your hats on first, and if you could then put your poaching jackets on with your eyes closed, please.
And if we manage to do this, then that's the first problem.
Puzzle, yes, and we'll move on to puzzle 2.
School of hard getting dressed.
Exactly. So, Mark, if you'd like to show us what you've caught during the night.
Good number of rabbits, by all accounts.
I should say 8 rabbits.
8 rabbits?
Yes.
OK, and Marcus, what was your haul?
I've got a tremendous number of pheasants.
A tremendous number of pheasants. Actually, there are 16 there, so...
OK. So 8 brace.
Very good, yes. And Dara, what did you come up with?
I have 8, I believe I have 9... 10 trout, yes.
10 trout. OK, so you're actually part of a poachers' cooperative.
OK.
So at the end of the evening, you kind of share some of your stuff between your fellow poachers. So what I'd like you to do is take 4 of your catch and put them on the table.
Ingenious, these Velcro rabbits. They make poaching so much easier. It's much more difficult in the old days.
It's also why they end up breeding so much.
That's right, yeah.
And so you're going to give 2 each to your fellow poachers. So if you'd like to take... so, Dara, you're going to give 2 trouts to Marcus and Mark.
And I'll let 2 rabbits, thank you very much.
Excellent.
They really are very sweet rabbits that we've...
Yeah, I feel
by
bad
implication shot
I brutally
and stuffed
them, yeah.
Now, if you could take everything that you've got out of your coats, put them on the table.
OK.
Look, he's arranged them like a football team, Dara.
Now, the interesting thing when you've done this is that the value of all the animals in front of you is equal. I'm going to tell you how much 1 pheasant costs, because 1 pheasant costs a tenner. But now the challenge is to work out, given that each of you has the same amount of monetary value of animals, what is the value of a trout and a rabbit?
You'll love this, right? A friend of my father's was invited to go shooting at Balmoral, and he wasn't much of a shot. After lunch, he was on whatever, peg 9, and there was a rustle in the bushes behind him, and the Queen was standing behind him while he stood. He's not much of a shot with a loaded shotgun, and he's shooting away, and he doesn't hit anything. And then the whistle blew for the end of the drive, and just as it blew, a low bird came over, and he went, fantastic, and he lined up, bang, like that, and he hit it. And the Queen stepped forward and she said, at Balmoral, we don't shoot after the whistle, and as a general rule, we don't shoot owls. Oh, tremendous. He has not been invited back.
He told off by the Queen.
Right, so, maths now, maths.
Just a little reminder. So, Mark, you ended up with 4 rabbits.
Yes, 4 rabbits.
2 pheasants
and 2 trout.
So
and
that's equal to...
That's equal to 12 pheasants.
Yeah.
2 rabbits,
2
and 2 trouts. And then Dara has 6 trout.
6 trout, 2 rabbits and 2 pheasants.
He's got the same as me where pheasants are concerned. So if we take them out of the...
That's a good
equation.
Yeah.
Because I remember you had to, when equations have got the same terms in, this is one thing I do remember from maths at school, I think. You can cancel out this bit of the equation and that bit.
Yeah.
So if we cancel out...
Take the 20 out there.
Yeah, take the 20 out. Take some out of his
and
take 2 out of mine.
You want to chuck these away?
Chuck them away.
On the floor.
Chuck them away. This is what I dreamt of at GCSE, throwing birds around. So this is equivalent to that.
Yeah.
If we keep taking...
You've got to take... That's right. Take equal
2 rabbits away and 2 rabbits away. And
yes, we can take 2 rabbits away.
We can all take 2 rabbits away.
Yeah, so these still have the same value because you've just taken away the same thing.
And we can take 2 fish away from everybody.
Oh, this is great. Or is it? All I've got left is 2 rabbits.
Well, we will know the value of your rabbits.
Yeah, which is...
Your rabbits
but I'm just going to be hungry.
Are worth 100 quid.
Yeah, so they're 50 each.
They're 50 quid each.
Yeah, good.
Very good. Pheasants are 10, rabbits are 50.
And your trout?
Look at the students over there. They're like, of course rabbits are 50 quid. Rabbits are 50 quid each.
Yeah. Pheasants are 10.
Oh, hang on, we've still got equal.
Yeah,
these are 25 quid each.
Wow,
very good. 100.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. That's
done.
Right.
That's great.
So done.
Look how hard you had to work.
I know, it's incredible.
We were flinging beasties around and you had to do
numbers and letters.
Yeah. So
can you show me what you did?
Look at that.
That's essentially the same thing. All of these are the same.
They're the same.
All of these are the same. So you can just take any from another one, you'll get 0. And then you get that. But that's not as neat as that, actually.
It's rather...
also, though.
Actually, also is a very word. Yeah. The other words that mathematicians use, this is one of the things which I'm very fond of, they always write this. Clearly. Which means I'm not going to bother writing it all out. Clearly. It's your dreaded part of a lecture because you're going, it's not that clear. But this made it much more evident. I mean, you just swept them all off.
This is like simultaneous equations in literal form.
So after we've divided up our booty, I've got 6 trout, 2 rabbits and 2 pheasants. Marcus has 2 trout, 2 rabbits and 12 pheasants, and Mark has 2 trout, 4 rabbits and 2 pheasants. We don't know how much each pile is worth, but we do know that they're all worth the same amount. In a way that is similar to my simultaneous equations, we can chuck away, or subtract, 2 pheasants from each pile, then 2 trout and 2 rabbit. And because each pile has lost exactly the same number of each animal, their total values are still equal. If we know that a pheasant is worth a tenner, then Marcus's pile of 10 pheasants is worth £100, which means the 2 rabbits are worth £50 each and the 4 trout £25 each. Clearly.
You both simultaneously got the answer at the same time there, I think, because I saw you put up 25 and 50. So the first round goes to both Briain and Braun.
Yeah, time. Join us after the break, where we'll be banding together to solve a real-life problem thrown at us by one of you lot out there. We'll see you then. Welcome back to School of Hard Sums, the programme which puts my mathematical talents up against the flair and physicality of 2 semi-enumerate comedians. Later on, we'll be attempting to solve further questions set by Marcus de Sautoy, but first we're offering practical and mathematical, maybe even emotional advice to you, the viewers, in part of the show we called Dear School of Hard Sums. Let's take a question.
My name's Richard Stewart. I'm a recruitment consultant. I'm really keen to understand, how do I find the right person for the job?
Well, there has to be some science to this, surely, at this stage. Surely there's such a massive industry of HR and people who, headhunting and all that.
The best way, surely, is to divide a group of candidates into 2 teams and then whittle that down in a sort of boardroom scenario. Maybe fire one each week.
Until...
I'm not sure what point you're trying to make there, right, about that whole operation.
Ubiquitous these days.
Tremendous, and it works brilliantly.
We assume that every job is filled in the same way as The Apprentice, yeah.
So you sold fish and you made £12. You sold fish and you made £10. You get a champagne trip around London. You are losers. I must sit in a cafe drinking tea. Yes, yeah. No, but if we weren't doing that industry-tested gold standard of choosing employees.
Interesting is, some researchers in Italy analysed this problem and found that the best way to get the best people is to randomise the selection process. What often happens is somebody comes to the top of their level and then you promote them into a job that they actually can't do because they've reached their limit.
Yes,
so it's the Peter principle. Yeah. Exactly. This is the Peter principle. And in the long run, if you randomly select people, you're going to get overall better qualified than if you actually choose the person who looks best for the job. But so
the answer for him is that he should resign.
Be out of a job. He's out of a job,
and the entire industry shouldn't exist. He'll enjoy that.
Yeah, great.
OK, so we do it randomly. Let's have another question.
Hello, Dara. Hello, guys. It's Marlene here. Now, I've got a muso question for you. I love classical music, but my question is, why do so many people think that they don't even like classical music until they hear it on something popularist like the football or a movie, perhaps?
Marlene, classically trained pianist, as she is, thinks people don't like classical music unless they've heard it already somewhere else.
Well, I think there is some sense to that, actually, because often your brain is looking for patterns that it finds satisfying in the development of those patterns. But actually, you have to get used to a pattern before you can start to see the pleasure in where it's evolving. So I think often people just who don't hear classical music just don't learn what the patterns are. And then they start to hear something in, like, the Champions League anthem. That's actually Handel, I think.
Yeah, Zadok the Priest, yes.
Zadok the Priest.
Yes, it's very fortunate that Handel wrote something that went, "We want to be the champions."
Yeah, I mean, have you seen the lyrics of the Champions League music?
There are lyrics?
There are lyrics. The lyrics are the champions. But in 4 different languages. It goes, I don't know, whatever, les champions,
I shout Zadok the Priest.
Constantly. So we're essentially saying that the education of people in terms of pattern recognition via associating Handel's music with football, that's to continue.
I think it's not such a bad way in.
All right. Yes, Marlene, I'm afraid we are stuck with hearing it at the start of the Champions League. But the bonus is then we get to watch a nice game of football. What is the second question for us?
So we're back to our wealth theme, and this is about inheritance tax. And you're the eldest of 5 siblings, and there's an inheritance suddenly arrived of 100 guineas. And as the eldest, you make the decision about how it's going to be divided up. But there is a little bit of a catch. But let's go and meet your siblings. here are your siblings, played by our students.
Yeah.
So you're the eldest, right down to the youngest, number 5. You're all very greedy, and they're going to get to vote on your proposal. You're allowed to vote as well. Obviously, you're going to vote for your proposal, I presume. But if a majority don't like it, then you're going to be disinherited. And then the next eldest is going to get a chance to propose how they think 100 guineas should be divided between the remaining 4. So we'll go down from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. And each time they get a chance to make a proposal.
So it's in their interest to disinherit you.
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
so what have you got to do to make sure that you can get at least 2 of those votes? And how much money can you get away with?
So you're playing the eldest child and must decide how to divide up an inheritance of 100 guineas. But your 4 younger siblings get to vote on your proposal. You get to vote too, but if the majority vote against your offer, you are disinherited. And the job of deciding how the money is divided up passes to the next eldest sibling. Similarly, if the remaining siblings vote against number 2's proposition, he is also disinherited. And the responsibility passes to number 3 and so on. If a vote is tied, the proposer wins. Every sibling wants to end up with the most cash possible and would prefer to see the others disinherited, so long as it doesn't lose them any money. So, how should you propose dividing up the money to ensure at least 2 of your siblings vote in your favour?
Well, obviously we're dumping the youngest one's getting nothing out of this. It's all going up her nose if she gets any of this cash. So frankly, that's
they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, she's young, she's fighty, she's the party.
She'll have another chance.
No, we've given her all the chances she deserves to get. This is the internal monologue of the eldest child.
Who's going to play the eldest? Because we've got one sash.
Marcus, you have a natural kind of gravitas about yourself.
Well, I have some experience where this is concerned as well. My great-uncle Gwilym
Here we go.
had a...
did he have a ring that he had to bring to...
I know, that's great-uncle Gollum. We don't talk about him.
No complicated family history.
Great-uncle Gwilym had a dilemma rather similar to this, and his solution was to gamble, drink and shag the entire lot away.
Yeah. He earned it, he spent it.
I think he lost most of Carmarthenshire in a bet.
Anyway. So the 100 guineas.
Well, I think if we gave 34 each to 2 and 3, I'll take 32 and I'll give 2 and 3 34 apiece. I would feel pretty confident.
They'll both vote. Well, let's see. Would you put your hand up if you would vote for that inheritance?
What is wrong with you?
And the trouble is, these are maths people. So
listen, brainiacs, I was on your side. Oh, screw you, I'm cutting you out of the family. There you go. Well, I must say, that did not last as long as I'd hoped.
Well, let's see now. Is that how you wear a sash? It doesn't matter. Soon I'll be rich. I'll be rich soon.
So you've got to win 2 votes to get the majority. But when it's down to an even number, 2 can vote for himself. And so he actually only has to win 1 vote.
Yeah, maybe we have to start thinking right the other way.
If you give anything at all to 4 and 5, it will be better than they'll get if it goes to the next person on.
If we're disinherited, then 2 and 3 can stitch it up.
She can make in the opium dens of London. She could have a hell of a weekend at a 1 guinea, right?
Oh, yeah. So you reckon we could just pay 4 and 5, 1 each?
But why would 4 vote for you?
4
because 4 would actually prefer to be left right at the end because they'd be able to do 99-1.
So number 4 will never vote for us. Yeah, can we kill one of them?
OK, we're still tussling with this one. Hope you are as well. We'll have the answer after this break, so we'll see how we get on. And also after that, we'll face the show's weightiest problem, and we'll find out exactly why Marcus and Mark have been doing this.
Oh, gracious me.
Right.
Oh, how lovely.
Actually.
Yeah, wow, that happened fast.
Welcome back to our School of Hard Sums for myself and my mathematics. Our locking horns are comedians Marcus Brigstocke and Mark Watson, who are using mainly blind panic and throwing money at the problem. Before the break, we were all battling about an inheritance problem that Marcus had set us.
We've got to decide how to divide up an inheritance of 100 guineas, keeping as much money for ourselves and giving as little as possible to our greedy younger siblings, who can vote for or against any proposal we make.
All 5 of you are absolutely as greedy as hell. So it's to their advantage to try and disinherit you if they can see that what you've done has given them less than they could do if the next person gets the vote.
You want to get through the first round, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Before heads start to fall. So maybe it's 5 and 2 we should be looking at at paying here.
That's good.
Well, you could commit, actually. You can give them... just write a cheque, give them to the people that you want and divide it up.
Right, Mark,
why don't you
write the cheque?
I think this is right.
So is it 50 for 2, 1 for 5 and 49 for
ourselves? Feelings don't have any place
I'm going
in
for the hard cover solution. I'm going for...
All right. Which is what, 98?
98, 1 and 1.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Now the siblings are talking. Yeah? Da-da-da-da-da. Years, nothing. Mother's funeral, didn't even show up. And now, oh, what am I going to get? Right.
I think...
My dear, darling siblings, I have exceptionally good news for you, number 5. There is a guinea for you, and exceptionally good news for you, number 2. Mother should have thought of better names, really, but there you are. 50 guineas for you and a guinea for you. I think you'll find that's the most fair system there is.
OK, Dara, how are you going to dish it out?
There's only one person that keep the money for themselves. If there's 2 people, they keep all of the money for themselves. If there's 3 people, he wants to buy 1 vote on the grounds that she knows this is going to happen if it goes to 2, so it goes 99-1. I think I'm right up to this point in that. If there's 4 people, he, again, only needs 2 votes, and he can threaten them that that's the best they'll get. Wait.
Because...
He offers her 2, because otherwise that's going to be better than going to there. Right, 1 would be the same, I suppose. Really.
Yeah, it's the same, so you only need to give them 1.
Anyway, so it's 1. And then, to buy him out, you put out 1 other vote on the grounds that this is the way it works. I still think you get 98 and you can buy 2 votes of 1 each.
But number 3, if you give them something, they will vote for you because next time around they'll get nothing. So you need to give number 3 something. So you need to buy every odd number vote. So it is possible.
So
you can walk away.
0101.
Yeah, you can keep 98 guineas. And then you buy number 3 and number 5's vote with 1 guinea, because if it goes to the next option, the number 2 is going to make sure that they get nothing.
Christmas is going to be very awkward after this.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of silences.
I think certainly this round, you certainly came away with 98 guineas.
Oh, I bought this round.
You bought this round.
Exactly. This round.
So this round goes to Dara.
Can I just do one thing? Thank you very much.
Yeah. 5's still got a guinea.
She can have a guinea. You can have your guinea. Go crazy with it, OK? I know you. You'll go mad. You'll have a good time.
So, Marcus and Mark, you were walking away with 49.
We also walk away with the feeling that we have treated our siblings more fairly than Dara would have done.
Yeah. We've built bridges. We've at least built a bridge.
I care. Ha, 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 ha. 98 guineas by the lot of feelings. The trick is to work backwards. When there are only 2 siblings left, number 4 can give herself 100 guineas and give number 5 nothing. So for number 5, getting anything is better than nothing, which means when there are 3 siblings left, number 3 can buy number 5's vote with just 1 guinea. When there are 4 siblings left, number 2 will offer 1 guinea to number 4, who knows that under number 3's rules, she will get nothing. Number 2 could offer number 5 a guinea, but she'd turn it down because she'd get the same offer from number 3 next time around, with the added bonus of seeing sibling number 2 disinherited along the way. With 5 siblings, number 2 is unlikely to support you, because if it goes to the next round, he stands to get 99 guineas. Number 3 and number 5 siblings know that if they disinherit you, then number 2 will clean up and leave them with nothing. So they'll take anything, and you can give each of them a single guinea and keep the other 98. Again, there's no point trying to buy number 4 with a guinea instead of one of the others, because she knows that number 2 will offer her a guinea in the next round, and she would prefer to see you disinherited. So, what is the big question we have this week?
A little bit of period drama, actually. So we're going to have 4 characters in this. There are 2 eligible bachelors at a formal high society ball. So Lady Anna, A, is in love with the Brigadier, B. But the Brigadier is infatuated with Miss Charlotte, C. Yeah. However, Miss Charlotte desires Sir Darcy, D. But, of course, Sir Darcy is after Lady Anna, A. So you've got this nice little circle of desire, and we're going to put all the 4 suitors in the corner of a square. They're arranged girl, boy, A, B, C, D. And when the music begins, the 4 suitors dance towards the partner they desire. Now, if they can only move towards the one they're actually in love with, in time with the music at a fixed speed, where are they going to end up and what distance do they cover?
They're at the four corners?
4 corners of a square. The square is 4 metres by 4 metres. I think you were dancing in, boys, weren't you?
It was.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got to work out how far do they cover and where do they meet.
OK.
And if you want, you can even give me an equation for their trajectory.
Wow, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, we'll have to work out how to put that into numbers. I want to see how you did it, generally dressing up and being buffoons about the whole thing and swirling around the dance floor. Let's have a look at the video.
Oh, gracious me.
Right.
Nice. What delightful mathematical problem has Mr. O'Brien and the fiendish De Sotoy set for us? Right.
So,
Mr. Watson, what have we got here?
Ruler, protractor, worrying-looking math stuff. Basically.
You've got the maths equipment at your end, whereas I've got the pipe and the booze.
I've got the maths hat as well, which I push.
A simple, basic maths hat. That way? No, point at the front, I would
point
think.
at the front, I think. This is a pocket watch. No iPhones in those days, of course. The iPhone 3 was out, but none of them were... Look at that.
If you swipe, like, nothing happens. None of my apps are coming up.
There's not any photos on it or anything. Oh, the old days, people were so stupid.
Ladies.
This is
Copperfield. Oh, how lovely. No, Lady Anful and Lady Copperfield.
Anful by name, Anful by nature.
Steady. I think we should dress up.
Yeah, I think so.
Would you like that?
Oh, ever so.
Would you?
Copperfield is really flirtatious. You know.
Yeah.
I might well end up seeing a tiny little bit of ankle tonight.
Oh, you dirty dog, you. He, by the way, has very little to offer, so...
Hands off Copperfield's mind.
Well, nothing.
A bit of fun.
Farewell. Wow, you look amazing.
So do you.
Yeah, wow, that happened fast. What it involves, Dara, is some dressing up and some thinking.
And that's what we are going to do, Dara.
I'm doing the dressing up. So is he.
So am I.
We'll solve it. Pop back and see us in a bit.
Right, well, my first question is, given that you're at what is clearly a 19th century ball, that you came dressed as 18th century naval officers.
They love that. It was a theme night.
It was retro, but retro set in the past.
You were wearing wigs. You were wearing powdered wigs.
That's right. Again, it drives them crazy, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't want to worry you, but I've quite quickly lost hope in any ability to solve it.
OK.
So I became aware of the shortcomings of brawn.
OK. All right, good. Well, you're about to see vividly the shortcomings of brain.
Yeah, so when the music begins, you all set off at a constant speed, the same speed.
Yes.
And that's...
OK. Yeah. Well, let's call that V, shall we?
Why not?
I'm going to write V down.
He's already done better than us.
Yeah.
The four infatuated dancers stand in the corners of a square ballroom measuring 4 metres by 4 metres. They arrange themselves girl, boy, Anna, the Brigadier, Charlotte and Darcy. When the music begins, each lover dances towards their beloved, in time with the music and at a fixed speed. Where do they end up and what distance do they cover?
So great, just in case you're missing Dara's face while he does it
I'm
over
missing
here.
terribly.
Exactly. Well, we've got a huge one for you. Have you done these puzzles when you were kids? Perhaps you still do them.
Yes. Marcus did.
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I enjoy them.
I had one of Dara, yeah.
I still really.
Yeah.
This
so
very
here's
one.
actually the classic 15 puzzle. We like to do it in numbers, us mathematicians, rather than faces. But
yeah, that's enough excitement for you.
That gets me, yeah. So do you have a strategy for them?
My first instinct is get this...
Get this to number one.
Up there.
Yeah. Be nice to have the one up there, because we'd feel...
Should we do that?
They'd feel good, yeah.
And do you know how many different arrangements were possible for this puzzle, the starting position?
Oh, a horrifying number, I expect.
Well, I learned recently that the number of possible moves on a chessboard outnumbers the atoms in the universe.
Oh, yeah, we always love that comparison. That's the big number. Yeah, exactly.
I find
that's incredible.
Absolutely astonishing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, well, there aren't so many of this, but actually...
But I bet there's a staggering number.
So, in fact, it's 16 factorial divided by 2 is about 10 trillion. So 10 trillion different combinations.
There are 10 trillion ways Dara could look.
Yeah, OK.
That's interesting,
so I'm going to go and have a little look at what Dara's doing.
All right.
And you keep doing your nice little algorithm there. You've done a 16th of it.
Should we try and get 2 and 5?
Right.
Dara, how's it getting on?
It's very interesting, actually. Yeah.
It's quite a good problem.
It is actually a problem.
Yeah.
No, really, it's a circle that they're on. A, B, C, and D are on a circle, and because they're moving in a kind of a uniform way where one works towards the other as the other works away, they're on a circle which is moving in towards the middle, but also rotating at the same time.
Yes.
Yes. You get a spiral, basically. They move in a spiral movement. So it's actually easy if you write it just tilting. If you imagine this being tilted up on its end like this, as a circle. So you have a circle, and so this is how they're moving, but they're moving straight to the other one, right? So in other words, they're at a 45-degree angle at all times. So you have a certain amount of their velocity is the stuff that's coming in, and a certain amount of stuff which is rotating around. And there's a very kind of easy way of splitting it. If you have this is your movement right here, right, and you're at a 45-degree angle, then it's very easy to work out what component of that is going this way and what component of that is going that way, and that's basically V by cos of 45, which is 1/√2 of V.
Yeah.
Right? Now, and you know V, you've told V is a very particular... From that, I believe, you're working at the amount of time it takes him to actually get to the middle, get to this one point where they explode in some, singularity of 18th century dancers.
Well, a nice way to write a spiral is in terms of polar coordinates. So if you could work out what the distance from the centre of the circle is, according to the angle, you could integrate that and then get an equation for the thing in terms of the radius and the angles. So,
yes. If I could do that, I would.
Yeah. Polar coordinates,
maybe I will do that.
Yeah. It's your problem.
Yeah.
Your solution, my problem.
I don't know what your problem is, but that is very specifically my problem.
Yeah, good.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to see how they're getting on rearranging your face.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
If 4 comes down there...
I'm not sure.
I was going to suggest...
Right, well, I'm in the middle of this costume drama conundrum. Join us after the break to find out if I'm making any progress and to see how Marcus and Mark's period drama played out.
It might not be completely accurate.
We're supposed to figure this out physically.
There's a chance to trap one of the ladies here, though, actually.
A lot of scribbling going on here, a lot of drawing of interesting shapes and spirals. That could be an important part of it. Welcome back to School of Hard Sums, where I and all of us are wrestling with a problem of lords, ladies and their lovers set by Marcus de Sotoy. The 4 infatuated dancers stand in the corners of a square ballroom measuring 4 metres by 4 metres. When the music begins, each lover dances towards their beloved, in time with the music and at a fixed speed. Where do they end up and what distance do they cover?
I set a challenge for a friend of mine, very fine comedian by the name of Adam Bloom, who can solve Rubik's Cubes just by going, you do that. He's one of those people. It's amazing. And I had 50 Rubik's Cubes and filmed him solving them all one after the other. And what fascinated me was with one of them, he went, yeah, that's unsolvable. And it took him about 4 or 5 seconds to be able to recognise that it was unsolvable. What had happened is someone had peeled stickers off and put it back together the wrong way. It was amazing.
Brain shouldn't be able to do that.
The same thing happens with this, actually, because the guy who invented this, or claimed he invented it, Sam Lloyd, offered a challenge of solving the 15 puzzle, and he offered a monetary prize for anyone who could do it. But he'd sneakily put them in position and scrambled them, given them out, such that it was unsolvable.
It's mind-boggling that by swapping the 2 of them, you can...
that's enough to input. And there's actually an algorithm which says it's kind of simple bit of arithmetic you do. So you look and find any that are out of order. So, for example, 12 here. Then you add up all of the numbers after that should have become before 12 but are actually after it. So we add 9, 11, 8, 7, not 15, not 13, 10, 5, 6. If you keep on doing that, and if the number is even in the end, then it's solvable. And if it's odd, it means that somebody's messed with it and turned you over.
So that should be right.
Look, if you can bring those down, we'll get 8 at the same time. Yes.
This is a great trap.
It's pleasing when you get
trap. That's the whole of the first...
Look at the man!
Half of Dara.
That's enough of Dara to know who...
Look, you've got 9, 10.
9,
snake
10
up there.
Yes. That'll put 11 in a better place.
Yeah, because that goes down, and 11 goes there and 12 goes up. Oh, my gosh!
Well, yes. Yeah, but no. Oh yes, that's right. And then we do. We do a track.
Yeah.
Look at that, all the way around, all the way around. Absolutely lovely.
Yes, but
we're going to
these
solve
are
it now.
exactly the wrong way around.
Yeah. So is there a way to swap those?
We're so close.
Yeah. So what? Is this an unsolvable problem? Look.
No, it is solved.
It is an unsolvable problem. It was set up in an unsolvable way because, look, this is exactly how Sam Lloyd set it up. It should be 2 here, going 11, 12. But somebody sneakily in the back room of the School of Hard Sums swaps them round, and it then becomes unsolvable. So if we'd done that algorithm right at the beginning, we would have known this wasn't worth even starting on.
Dara, your face is broken forever.
Anyway, I'm going to have a look at Dara's working out.
Yes.
Oh, wow, this looks so good, Dara.
This actually looks like proper things.
I'm getting really... Oh, wow,
like
you're
proper...
having fun.
I actually am enjoying it.
Wow, look, there are integrals.
There are integrals. There's an equation of motion.
Yeah.
There's an equation of motion. There is a distance, which is the integral over the equation of motion.
Exactly, yeah.
And then it comes
down to the total distance covered is...
But then this is the question. It depends on the speed.
Oh.
Now, that's the thing.
That's the crunch, because it doesn't depend on the speed.
Now, there we... So it's somewhere
they'll get there quicker or slower, but it doesn't depend on the speed, because I didn't give you the speed, you see.
No, of course not.
Yeah, no, you're going to be able to tell me...
I got a V floating around somewhere, which is...
Yeah, maybe it cancels.
That's what I really
You do need the V to disappear.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave you to follow that through, and, excellent. I think we can have a look at what Dara's been doing. We've got these little tablets which show some of Dara's workings.
The sight of it is absolutely horrifying, though.
Yeah. So it's very interesting because he's realised that the rate that you head towards the centre, that component of your journey, is constant. So he's actually worked out the time here it takes to get to the centre in terms of the speed. And interestingly, he's gone off on a little... it looks beautiful mathematics, but it's a bit of a red herring because he's very close to actually calculating... Oh, yeah, no, here he is. On this side, I think he's realised that although he's done some beautiful maths, actually it's a simple step to the...
Oh, so that whole middle page is
it's just him having fun. Yeah. So he ignored actually what the path looks like and just said, I've got a speed. One component of it is dedicated purely towards heading towards the centre. The other component is doing your spirally bit.
Yes.
And he's worked out the distance he has to go to the centre, and then he's got the time. But what I want is the total distance that you go around the whole of this spiral.
Yes.
But he knows how long it takes. So I think we can see his answer is on the 3rd pages of his working, with a little kind of riff in the middle, which is, I think, just him having some fun. But I think I think he's going to propose that, in fact, the dancers all travel 4 metres, which is kind of interesting.
After all that?
Yeah, after all that.
4. Sounds so simple.
Dara.
Yeah?
It's the total distance that all of the dancers go.
Oh, fine, okay.
Yeah.
Multiply your end figure by 4.
Thank you.
I don't know if that's of any help, but it just...
Thank you. Thank you very
just is nice to chip in, I think.
because we're part of the process.
Group effort, therefore.
Yeah. Well, I think Dara, has reached a conclusion, so let's go and join him and we'll see what you calculated.
You say calculate.
Yes,
that's a bold... It's a bold choice of word.
Hello.
Well, I'm pleased, Dara, to see that this has taken this much.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those typical, really stylised mathematics questions. The time it would take for all 4 dances to intermingle your atoms into one single point. And
yes.
This is all I'm hoping what I'm going to see in the video. This beautiful...
I should warn you, there is a huge explosion at the end.
OK, I'm a blinding light. So if you could all put your goggles on now and we watch the second part of the video.
Well... we better solve this.
We need to mark out a dance floor of 4 by 4.
It's 4 metres by 4. OK, fine. I'll herd the dancers into the...
So I'll try and find a...
That's it. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to witness some astonishing maths.
Right, so that'll be the corner of the... That is the corner of the dance floor.
There we go. Okay. Ready? Yep. 4 metres. Here we go. 3 and a bit. Slowing now. 4. Okay. 7.898 metres. And that takes us to exactly 16. Ladies, we've achieved something pretty astonishing.
I'll take Lady...
Get in.
Handful.
So, if you just wait there by that book. Good fan work. No, you see what we've done there, Mark,
or we've fallen in a significant way.
Are you saying there's something wrong with that?
Big time.
OK. Because I think anyone should be free to love whoever they want, but still,
No,
OK.
it's not that.
So
I'm just saying.
So, so she should be there?
Should be there.
OK, you bigot.
That's not coming from bigotry. That's following instructions.
That's what the Nazis said.
So if we each took a step in the direction of the person we fancied.
Yeah.
Go. And then we do that again. Yeah, you see, we're just going to spiral this.
Yeah. Yes, do you have to do that with your hands?
I don't have to, but I just think it's a nice way of indicating intent.
OK, well, I suppose I'll do that as well, then. Yeah. We're doing that. That's about it. That's about it.
So that's what happens, basically. So what we need to do then is do that, but measuring it at the same time.
We need to each be trailing a bit of ribbon.
Yes. To quote David Bowie, let's dance.
My ball's all over the place.
Oh. I'm having some windy problems. Oh,
we're all having windy problems. The ribbon has actually made things... The ribbon has been a total... There's a chance to trap one of the ladies here, though, potentially. There we are, There we are, that's basically fine.
But I'm going to lay claim to the best spiral there. We're supposed to figure this out physically, right?
Your one looks like it's reasonably accurate.
Well, I'd tell you what, you see, that's part of the reason I fancy Copperfield, is she's a lovely mover. She moves in a way that describes an almost perfect arc.
She is quite the parabola, isn't she?
6.2. If I now measure the blue...
Yes.
We could just average out.
I think that's probably as close
Where they
as
go.
we... That's...
Yeah, but it's so unsatisfying.
It was
3.4.
It might not be completely accurate.
It won't surprise you to know, Mark, I'm no mathematician, but I find this whole shebang here massively unsatisfying.
I'm going to go the other way and just be positive and say I think this is the best maths I've ever done.
Marcus, I have to say that whatever your skills as a mathematician, as a rhythmic gymnast, your ribbon work is sans pareil. It's very, very impressive.
Well, it's time to commit to your cards. So if you could write down your values. Students, you can write down the total distance as well, maybe, that all four dancers did. So, Mark and Marcus, what did you get with your averaging and that measuring your ribbons?
Well, we've put 18.
We've got 18, but I've put a question mark there to signify 18.
OK. Dara, what did you get?
I put 16 metres down.
16 metres. And students, what did we get from them? I think they're on your side.
16 now.
16.
I think how quickly they can write 16.
This will change to a 6 quite easily. There we go.
Yeah. So, interestingly, the answer is 16, which means that they did this spiral, but total distance they travelled was just the side of one of those squares. The weird thing is, you do this logarithmic spiral, so you actually would have, physically, you would have had to have gone round infinitely many times before you'd met.
Starting with just one of the dancers, I worked out that they head directly towards the object of their desire. Only a certain fraction of their speed would be moving them towards the centre of the dance floor. Since I knew that the distance from the corners of the square to the centre was 4/√2, I could use the speed at which they moved towards the centre, v/√2, to work out the time the dancers took to collide. It was 4/v. Now I knew how long they would be dancing for, I could multiply this by the speed they were moving at to get the total distance. The V's cancel out, giving a journey of 4 metres for each dancer, a total of 16 metres combined.
I just like the fact that I stumbled across that incredibly quickly, didn't recognise it, did 3 more pages of things involving integration and equations of motion, and then actually you just had to...
Could have been well, actually, you do need to do that in order to work out the actual path. So I think your observation was a kind of version of that, that you're heading at a constant speed towards the centre.
Yeah.
So, Dara, you won that round, and I think the previous round, so the overall programme goes to Brains.
At the end of all that, thanks to our young bloods, the students on our maths panel, thanks to our question setter from the Quads of Oxford, Professor Marcus de Sotoy, and huge thanks to our guest comedians who are now fully qualified mathophiles, Marcus Brigstocke and Mark Watson. We'll have more of these finished problems another time with School of Hard Sums. Thank you very much. Good night.
Now time for your homework. You've just robbed £76 million from a bank and must divide the loot into bags of at least 1 million so that when the boss demands his share, which can be any number of whole millions, you can give it to him without having to open up the bags and count. What's the minimum number of bags required and how will you divide up the money? If you'd like to check your answer or just cheat, go to the website joindave.co.uk.